boy Tony Stewart is after Logano.
Well, I did see some punches thrown today. You can't say they're just pushing each other.
Stewart could have been reacting to the restart, where Logano came way down the track to block Tony, who had a run on the inside.
NASCAR fans, let's face it, NASCAR isn't just about high-speed action and checkered flags. We're talking about what makes NASCAR so freaking legendary. The drama, the beef, and the downright fiery tempers. Sure, the checkered flags are cool, but let's be honest. The rivalries, the fights, and the jaw-dropping moments on pit road? That's where the real action is. So today, we're diving into the wild, chaotic, and downright fiery world of NASCAR, and we're counting down NASCAR's top 10 hotheads. From fistfights to fiery press conferences, these drivers brought the heat both on and off the track. From Rowdy Kyle Busch losing his cool to Dale Earnhardt Sr. making people cry on and off the track, these drivers didn't just race. They fought, yelled, and sometimes straight up brawled. So here's what we want to know from you. Who's the biggest hothead in NASCAR history? Do you think Tony Stewart throwing a helmet at Matt Kenseth was justified or just hilarious? And what's the most iconic meltdown you've ever seen on race day? This list is wild, y'all, so stick around. Drop your answers in the comments, and let's talk about the fiery side of NASCAR that we just can't get enough of. Number 10, Brad Keselowski, Bad Brad. Now, don't let that calm demeanor fool ya. This guy's got a habit of ruffling feathers. Brad doesn't mince words. This guy's got a mouth as sharp as his driving skills. Brad's outspoken nature and aggressive racing style have gotten under the skin of legends like Jeff Gordon and Kyle Busch. Remember when he tangled with Jeff Gordon at Texas Motor Speedway in 2014? Yeah, that wasn't just a racing incident, that was an all-out brawl. Brad's not afraid to bump fenders or egos. Whether it's calling out Kyle Busch or going toe-to-toe with Denny Hamlin, Keselowski lives for the drama. Brad's motto is simple: if you ain't mad, you ain't racing. Love him or hate him, he's the guy you can't take your eyes off. Number 9, Bobby Allison. We've got a member of NASCAR royalty, the Alabama gang's one and only Bobby Allison. Let's take it back to the 1979 Daytona 500, the race that put NASCAR on the map. This man was part of the legendary Alabama gang, and he wasn't scared to throw down. Bobby and Cale Yarborough turned the finish line into a boxing ring, meaning they literally started throwing punches on live TV. That's the kind of passion and intensity Bobby brought to every race. After the 1979 Daytona 500, Bobby and Cale Yarborough went at it in what became one of NASCAR's most iconic moments. Bobby wasn't just a fighter though. He was a fierce competitor with over 80 wins. He wasn't just racing cars, he was racing people. And let's be real, that's why fans loved him. Number 8, Joey Logano, Sliced Bread. Now, Joey might have a baby face, but don't let that fool ya. He's one of the most aggressive drivers on the track. Whether it's bumping Denny Hamlin at Bristol or scrapping with Kyle Busch in Las Vegas, Logano's always in the thick of it. He's been called sliced bread since his early days, but let's be honest, he's more like burnt toast when he's mad. He's had beef with just about everyone. Remember when Hamlin called him a little rich kid after a race? Joey's confidence and willingness to stand his ground have earned him plenty of haters and just as many fans. Number 7, Darell Waltrip, or as he's better known, Jaws. Waltrip had a mouth that ran faster than his car, and he loved stirring the pot. This guy talked big game and backed it up too. Waltrip's sharp wit and trash talking earned him as many enemies as it did fans. He wasn't shy about poking the bear, especially when it came to rivalries with legends like Dale Earnhardt Sr. Whether he was trash-talking in interviews or making bold moves on the track, he kept things spicy. And honestly, NASCAR needed that kind of flair. Number 6, Kurt Busch. When it comes to fiery personalities, Kurt Busch is in a league of his own. Now, if NASCAR had a Hall of Fame for temper tantrums, Kurt would be a first ballot inductee. Remember when he called Jimmy Spencer a decrepit old has-been? Savage. Kurt's fights weren't just with other drivers. He'd go at it with reporters, teammates, even his own car at times. But here's the thing, love him or hate him, Kurt Busch always kept it real, and you've got to respect that. Number 5, Cale Yarborough. This man didn't just race hard, he fought harder, and nothing proves that more than his infamous brawl with Bobby and Donnie Allison at Daytona in 1979. This man was old school NASCAR and didn't take any nonsense. Whether he was trading paint on the track or fists on pit road, Cale was a no-nonsense competitor who helped shape NASCAR's rough-and-tumble image. Cale's attitude made him a fan favorite and a nightmare for anyone who crossed him on the track. Number 4, Kevin Harvick, ironically nicknamed Happy. Let's be real though, There's nothing happy about Harvick when he's mad. This dude's been in more feuds than we can count. From his shoving match with Joey Logano to calling out Kyle Busch, Harvick's not afraid to throw down. And who could forget the 2014 Texas brawl, where Harvick shoved Brad Keselowski to kick off a brawl like a true instigator. Kevin's intense competitive spirit has made him a fan favorite, but let's be real, when Harvick gets fired up, it's entertainment gold. Number 3, Kyle Busch, Rowdy. This guy's name says it all. And if there's one guy who knows how to stir the pot, it's Rowdy. Kyle's been throwing tantrums and causing chaos since day one. This dude doesn't just speak his mind. He shouts it from the rooftops. Kyle had beef with, well, everyone. Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, and even his own brother Kurt. Remember when he wrecked Ron Hornaday under caution in 2011? Yeah, that's classic Rowdy for you. He's known for throwing fits after tough races and doesn't hold back when things don't go his way. Kyle's outbursts aren't just limited to the track. His fiery post-race interviews are legendary. Love him or hate him, there's no denying that Rowdy Busch brings the drama every single weekend. Number 2, Tony Stewart, Smoke. If there's one driver who could set the NASCAR world on fire, it's Tony. This guy brought fireworks to every race, literally and figuratively. From throwing helmets at cars to his epic press conference rants, Stewart's temper was as legendary as his driving skills. Remember when he called out Goodyear in 2008? Or when he had that heated exchange with Joey Logano at Fontana? Classic Smoke. He wasn't afraid to get in someone's face, and his legendary temper often overshadowed his incredible talent. Tony's unpredictability made him a fan favorite, and let's be honest, that's part of what made him so fun to watch. Whether he was winning races or flipping out, Tony Stewart was always the center of attention. Number 1, Dale Earnhardt Sr, the Intimidator. He wasn't just a driver, he was a force of nature. Dale didn't just race, he dominated. His aggressive style and win-at-all-costs mentality made him a legend. Whether he was bumping Terry Labonte at Bristol or trading paint with Jeff Gordon, Earnhardt never backed down. Dale would bump you out of his way without a second thought, and he'd stare you down with that trademark glare. His aggressive style, legendary rivalries, and no-holds-barred attitude made him the most feared and respected man on the track. Dale Earnhardt wasn't just a hothead. He was the embodiment of NASCAR's raw, unfiltered spirit. Whether you loved him or hated him, there's no denying Dale Earnhardt Sr. was the king of NASCAR's hotheads. Rest in peace, Intimidator, you're still a legend. So there you have it, folks, the 10 most hot-headed drivers in the history of the sport. These legends didn't just race cars, they raced hearts, minds, and sometimes fists. So, here's the question. Who's your favorite hothead on this list? Or did we miss someone who deserves to be here? Do you think throwing a helmet at someone's car is fair game? Or is it crossing the line? Who could forget that epic 1979 Daytona 500 brawl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get this discussion rolling. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more interesting stories and updates from everything NASCAR. Do share this video with your friends. Until next time, keep the conversation going on, lucky dog on track.